verse 42, has not the scripture said that the Christ comes from the offspring of David and comes from Bethlehem, the village where David was? Right now they're like, oh, but you know, like Matthew and Herod asking Matthew for the people when the wise men came, and they say, yes, Christ is supposed to be born in Bethlehem. Okay, so we know this. I mean, before in this chapter, they're like, oh, we know where Jesus is coming from, but when the Messiah comes, we won't know where he's coming from. Now they're saying, oh, but wait, we kind of know where he will come from. Okay, I mean, Jesus can never be right, but whichever way they say, whichever he says and whatever he's trying to teach them, they will always come up with another excuse. Like there was an excuse, we don't know where he's coming from, that's supposed to be. Here's like, oh no, we will know that it comes from Bethlehem, and Jesus is coming from Nazareth, okay? So in other words, it's like I'm standing here in this botanical garden, KL, and telling you I'm standing in the botanical garden of KL. At the moment, you know, I can pinch myself here and you can say, sound of hurting and the beauty and all of this, and you can say, no, that can't be the botanical garden in KL. No, he must be lying. He's in the botanical garden in Singapore. Botanical garden in Singapore is more beautiful than this, right? But there you pay 20 Singapore dollars to get in here. This is all free. So whatever I tell you, if you don't want to believe it, you'll always come up with an excuse. You'll say, no, but that can't be, right? That just can't be. It's like in this case now, okay? So it's like, no, the Christ, so the scripture says he's from Bethlehem. But then you say, we don't know, we can't tell when the Messiah comes, we can't tell when he's coming. But now we know he's coming from Bethlehem. Right? He's supposed to be from the offspring of David. He comes from Bethlehem. But that is where Jesus is. He was born in Bethlehem, right? And he is from the line of David. On both sides of the family, there's just that. Okay, so they know, but they don't know because they don't want to know. If they ask a question, they would have known. Oh, Jesus, so yes, you were, but where were you actually born? Okay, I grew up, spent most of life. People ask where I'm from, I say I'm from Clanwilliam, but I wasn't born there. I was born in Porterville, where all 5 of our kids were born in the same hospital, right? But that's such a small place, such a small. We lived there when I was 2 years old, so I can't remember any of that. But if someone asks me, that is where I was born. If I need fill in the forms, I was born in Porterville. But where actually I grew up, became human in a certain sense, was not even in Mansdorp after that, but in on the farm, but in Clanwilliam on the farm. And so, like, if they ask, but they didn't, because they didn't want to know, right? Because in truth, they didn't want to know. That's the whole thing. You can know, it's not hidden knowledge, but they don't want to know. Right, so moved again, another beautiful spot. Orchids here on kind of like an island in this pool of water. Beautiful. Verse 43, so there was a division among the people over him. So yeah, that's ultimately led to this. So he is the prophet. Others like, he's the Messiah. No, he can't be, because he's from Galilee and nothing good comes from there. He's supposed to be from Nazareth, from Bethlehem, sorry. From the town of David, line of David. But he was, okay, I looked at it. Okay, so here, so that means the people were divided. They could not, because, again, I said they could have known the truth, but they didn't want to know the truth. It was simple, just go and ask Jesus about it. That's so easy. They didn't want to. Verse 44. Some of them wanted to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him. So, you remember, there were the officers that were sent by the Pharisees to come and arrest Jesus. And so there were those who wanted to arrest him. But then they couldn't lay hands on him. Why again? We've seen earlier in the chapter, because Jesus' time hasn't come yet. The hour hasn't come yet. He's not ready to give over his life, because there's still things he needs to teach and things he needs to do. He still needs to raise Lazarus from the dead and lots of other things, right? So no one could ultimately lay. They wanted, they couldn't, okay? They couldn't.